I figured might as well just start recording, start going. Welcome to today's review session. I'm not going to call it charting session. It's really review. And putting myself out there like this is very new to me. I still don't know how I feel about it, but after the decisions I made today while trading, I have come to the conclusion that I need to break out of this bad habit, and we'll talk about what that is. And I think the best way for me to do that is to hold myself accountable by really kind of putting myself out there. So I'm going to hold myself accountable to a high degree by recording this video, talking about what I did wrong, a little bit of what I did right, but then I'm going to go ahead and release this out there for anyone to watch, and hopefully it resonates with some of you. So I guess quick introductions. I know I already have maybe a couple of videos out there. This is Level Up Trades. Essentially, this channel is to help those who are brand new and literally help you level up, gain your experience, talk about the good, the bad, the right, the wrong, talking about it from my experience, and hopefully it helps those who are new and going through the same things that I did. I'm a dad of two young girls. I've got a wife. I've got a really stressful and time-consuming job, and yet I'm still trading. So if you're like me and you haven't really been able to find anyone that kind of embodies all of that, and you're struggling to connect with someone on that level, hopefully I can be that for you. Okay, so I want to talk about accountability. I want to talk about bad habits. I want to talk about focusing on money rather than focusing on the trade and the strategies. So just as a quick background, I started trading futures, I think it was April of 23, so last year. So a little over a year and a half, or close to a year and a half, something like that. And so I've only really been trading for, literally a short amount of time, which is interesting. But up until just like last week or a little bit before that, I had been trading with the mindset of making money. And I didn't realize that really until just the last couple days. And I started to be more aware and more conscious of it. Unfortunately, it still got me today, and I want to talk through that. So this morning, there was a nice setup on both NQ and ES, but I took the trade on ES. Let's see if I can find it here real quick. So switch over to my tab. Now I'm taking my trades on MNQ and MES, so the micros. I just find them to be a bit better risk-wise right now while I'm kind of going through the whole process. Oh, there it is. All right, so this morning we had this open downtrend channel occurring, and I saw it coming down to this relative equal lows, which also happened to be right within a fair value gap, which looks like it could also be, well, no, I guess not, because it's part of uptrend. So I was expecting price to come down and bounce here. If it did and came back up to this trend zone or trend line, based on this, it's either going to move quickly after bouncing here and move quickly to take out these relative equal lows, or it was going to break. And it also happened to come right through this major fair value gap here, and as it passed through it, it created an inverse fair value gap. So we have a couple confluences happening. So I'm expecting price to come up, to break, come back down, which it is, and test the inverse and respect, and then continue up. So I waited for the inverse to get respected, and then I waited for price to break back out again to give me that extra confluence. And when it did, I went ahead and entered. I think it was on 4/11/25, which I'll have to double check, but I believe that was right about 4/11/25, right about here. Is where I entered, and I targeted the high, so that was a nice little win there. I think I was only in for 2 contracts, so it wasn't much. It was like, I don't know, 100, 150 bucks, something like that. I didn't take it on NQ because I didn't think it looked as clean on NQ, in my honest opinion. Let me see if I can find it here. Yeah, so on NQ it was a little bit more difficult to see the channel occurring. So that's why I didn't take it. I mean, there was the same kind of inverse fair value gap occurring there, so that I could have entered there as well, but I was more focused on MES. So that was the good. The good was I waited for confirmation. I was patient. I waited for price to tell me what it wanted to do and how it wanted to do it, and it worked out great. And I targeted the right target. So that was really good. Was it an A+ setup? No, but it's a setup that I'm confident in taking when I have the confirmations. So that's why I took it. Now here's where I started to fuck up. I got focused on what was happening all through here throughout the rest of the day. And as you can see, what is this doing? It's setting up low resistance liquidity. And the first fuck up came, I want to say, I'll have to go back and double check, but I think it was on this major candle here, this major down candle here, because I thought, oh, hey, we finally have a breakdown, and it's now going to come down and grab all of this low resistance liquidity, and it didn't. And I got stopped out. And kind of the same story throughout the rest of the day. And this one really tripped me up was when we got this big move down here. I saw that it came through this low, but what I didn't recognize at the time, which I recognized post fact, is that I am way too zoomed in here, and that this is not a prominent low in order to take a short. And we can see that because all of this is low resistance liquidity. Where's our prominent low prior to this candle? There isn't one. This is the prominent low right here. So in order to go short, I have to wait for this to form, and then I have to wait for price to come up, sweep this liquidity, and then come down and form or displace through this low and form a fair value gap, and etc. It didn't. In fact, I got hit by FOMO. I saw this down candle, and I was thinking, okay, it's going to come up and hit this low, and I'll set my my short orders there, and I did, and I got in a bit heavy too because, again, I was way too zoomed in. I'm looking at the 1 minute here, and you really have to back out. So if we go back to my other tabs here, let's see. Actually, what time was that? That was at 13:46. 13:46 is here. Okay, so let's go on the 15. So you can see on my quadrants how I have this kind of set up. So that's here. All right, let's compress this and look at this a bit better. So that is this one here. Let's compress so that we're looking at this. I mean, look at this. This is just a straight run, and I'm trying to go against the trend, and there's no prominent low prior to this. And I don't know. For some reason, I couldn't see that because I think I was so focused on making money today that I thought that this was going to break down and it was going to continue and take all this liquidity. I didn't understand what was happening because I was too zoomed in. I was too focused on the money. So going forward, because I want to talk about the accountability piece, I really need to break out of this habit. I'm finding that when I review my trades prior to this, leading up to today, that has been the most prominent thing in why I am not yet profitable, is because I am so focused on making money and so focused on not missing the move and so focused on the lower time frame. I need to break out of that bad habit. That is my biggest problem. So to address that, what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start recording review sessions on the days that I trade. I probably won't trade every day. I don't know yet. Like I said, I've got kids. I've got a really demanding job and household chores, etc. So, but on the days that I do trade, I will do a review session. I will try to also record my live trades, and I'm going to start putting these out publicly. That is a very daunting thing for me to do. Again, I still don't know how I feel about it, and I'm not trying to put this out there for clout or to gain 1 million followers or make a bunch of money on this. Like, this is seriously a way for me to hold myself accountable, because now it's out in the public eye. But I think also additionally, it may help someone who's also kind of going through what I've been going through, or is kind of in a similar situation. So hopefully it helps someone as well. All right, well, that's probably it. So at least as far as review session of what I did today, kind of the good and the bad. Going into the rest of the week, I mean, if we look at our 4-hour here, this is just insane. I mean, this is coming right up into the huge fair value gap here. But what do we just say about displacement, right? We have no displacement occurring on a 4-hour time frame through anything really kind of significant. So if we even go back further, we can see that we actually did complete the full model in full. Like, look, here's our starting point, here's the ending point. Done. Does that mean that this is going to come back now and grab these equal lows? Probably. Is that going to happen now? Who knows? Is it likely that we're going to come up into this fair value gap? This is going to act as a protected high and we're going to shoot back down? It's possible. I mean, it looks like NQ and ES are setting up for a major bloodbath, but with all this low resistance liquidity. But it may not. It could come down and grab all this and then it jump right back up and run through, or it could just continue on and continue running through. Don't know. We're in a very kind of weird spot. I think price was definitely setting up for CPI for tomorrow. I'm going to try to be on early tomorrow. Again, try. I got kids, so we'll see if that even pans out. But I'm really curious to see which direction market wants to go. So trade safe, stick to your rules, develop rules for yourself. Whether that's you're sticking to 2 trades a day, you're sticking to very specific strategies or models when they present themselves, whether that's holding yourself accountable, whatever it is, create rules for yourself so that you can be a better trader. And I think you'll also find that it translates into other parts of your life, which I'm starting to realize as well. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and end it there. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this. I'm definitely open to constructive feedback, and I really appreciate you all taking the time to watch this. Thank you, and we'll see you later.